Wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Thanks for joining us on the TVC Midday News. It's day 5 of flood that ravaged Borno State. Water is gradually receding. Residents of Maiduguri can now have access to other parts of the state. Though the flood damaged the main bridge in Maiduguri, which connects people to other parts of the state, reconstruction has since commenced to enable people to have access to their business places. Most shops and other businesses have started to open as people continue to count their losses. TVC News senior reporter Jesse Tafida is standing by to bring us an update on the situation at the moment. Jesse, earlier you spoke with us about the situation there coming from the fact that the bridge on the road that you spoke to us in the early bulletin. Now, what's happening? What's the state government doing about creating an atmosphere where people can continue to go back to work? What is the state government doing to ensure that this situation is ameliorated?
Thank you very much, Theophilus. Earlier on, I just briefed our viewers that people are now having access to the main town. It is also good to note that before now, there are some areas which the flood did not affect. But because the bridge is affected, they have been in their homes. But since Tuesday till today, this is when they can now come out of their homes and access their shops and other business stuff they do. The problem now is most of the shops were submerged because the metropolis have been submerged. So most of the shops are submerged. Now people are coming out counting their losses. I have friends that most of their shops have been submerged. They take care of laptops, phones, all those have been lost inside the water. And we could see from there, some of them cannot even speak to TVC because of what they're going through. It's really devastating. But other shops were not affected, and that is why from the clips you could see, we could see food items out there. The problem is that the prices of food items is going up. And that is what the residents are now complaining of. Those that were not affected are now out to go and get something to eat, something to buy. But food prices is up. For example, now one mood of rice goes for 4,000 naira. A packet of pasta goes for 2,000 naira. People cannot afford this because the main market itself is submerged, and they want authorities to, as a matter of urgency, try to intervene, because this is pushing people into another food crisis.
Yes, it is. And of course, it might affect the entirety of the country, seeing that food comes from those areas as well. But for the state governor, we've also seen that many state governments have been visiting the state governor. Of course, like you reported yesterday, Aliko Dangote pledging about 2 billion naira to rehabilitation efforts there. What more is the state governor doing to ensure that this doesn't happen again?
Now, the flood is as a result of the collapse of Alo Dam.
Yeah.
Alo Dam is a big reservoir that the entire waters from Maiduguri, the water coming from outside Maiduguri, to Maiduguri gathered there. And the collapse of the bridge is as a result of influx of water. And experts have said that due to climate change, that is why we're getting so much rain. And because the reservoir cannot contain the level of water there, it collapsed, and then water overflew into the state capital, and that is why most of people in Borno State are affected. Now, the state government is putting measures in place to ensure that this has not occurred again. According to Borno State Governor Babagana Zulum, experts are already on site to see how they can avert the situation from the dam. Yesterday, the state government received the Minister for Environment, which he says is going to they're going to put all hands on deck, as the president has given them a marching order to come together and ensure that this thing is being averted. Let's talk about people that are victims of the flood. Search and rescue operation continues, and people continue to go to camps. And main problem there is food, getting access to food. Although the state government is putting a lot of contributions to cook food for them, it is not enough. People are still starving. People are not having the patience to wait for their turn. You will see them rushing to get the food, and at the end of the day, a lot of them will not get anything, especially children and the aged. There are farms around some of the IDP camps. You could see the victims going to the farms, plugging out granules. They just want to get something to eat. Development partners continue to also complement the effort of the government. But the situation is overwhelming, because when you go to camps, you will see a lot of children that they've not seen their parents because of the flood. Everyone was running, scampering for safety, trying to go to safer places. And you could see unaccompanied children, you could see parents lamenting that they've not seen their children. They are hungry, the camps are overcrowded. Even the new camps that were opened yesterday are now overcrowded, and the situation is really overwhelming. But the state government have continued to receive donations from individuals, just as it mentioned. CEO of Dangote Group, Aliko Dangote, pledged 2 billion naira. The governor of Adamawa State gave 50 million naira. And the former governor of Borno State, Ali Modu Sharif, also donated 100 million naira. The state government continues to get money. Even the federal government has given 3 billion naira to the state government to cater the needs of the victims. And more support is coming, according to the vice president, when he visited Maiduguri to ascertain the level of damage caused by the flood. So according to him, President Bola Tinubu is doing all he can to bring relief, to bring succor to the victims. According to the vice president, also, truckloads of food are on their way to Maiduguri to give out to the victims, as they've lost everything.
All right, just say thank you very much. We do hope that the rescue efforts or the humanitarian efforts will be heightened so people can go back to their daily lives. Thank you so much for talking to us on this. Well, still talking about the Maiduguri flood, Governor of Kaduna State, Uba Sani, visited the presidential villa to sympathize with Vice President Kashim Shettima about the devastating floods that submerged parts of Maiduguri metropolis and displaced thousands of residents. The Kaduna State Governor said he is confident that efforts of the federal government will go a long way to ameliorate the sufferings of the people and help them cope with the loss. The governor also talked about the benefits of the Memorandum of Understanding signed at the subnational level in China during President Bola Tinubu's state visit, where the ties between Nigeria and China was elevated to strategic comprehensive partnership.
About over 100 lives were lost as of yesterday. Today, a lot of effort have been made to ensure that more lives are saved. Because of the incident, it's really a tragedy. It's an unfortunate incident. Of course, a similar incident, I was told by the Vice President that similar incident happened about 30 years ago. Of course, it was not at this magnitude, but of course, the government of Borno State as well as the federal government are working to ensure that more lives are saved and people return back to their homes safely.
Meanwhile, the federal government has commenced the dredging of the Ogun River downstream between Ikorodu and Isheri to ensure safety and well-being of communities along the stretch of the river. The managing director of the Ogun River Basin Development Authority says the signed agreement and embarked on the project to prevent devastating floods that can cause serious damage in Ogun and Lagos communities. Senior reporter Kazim Olawe reports.
In order to prevent flooding and loss of lives and property in Ogun and Lagos communities, the federal government, through the Ogun River Basin Development Authority, has embarked on dredging of Ogun River downstream. While speaking about the significance of the dredging at this time, the managing director of the Ogun River Basin Development Authority said over the years, flooding in the Isheri area and other parts of the downstream of Ogun River has been a matter of great concern. He said the devastating flood have disrupted lives, property and livelihoods, causing significant hardship for residents. He said people often attribute the cause to water releases from Oyon Dam, but that was not the major cause. He added that the downstream section of the Ogun River has a complex network of 52 river tributaries which contribute to rising water levels.
The Oyon Dam plays a crucial role in erosion control, mitigating the damaging effects of uncontrolled water flows from these tributaries. We must prepare for potential water surges into the Oyon Dam, giving predictions of large volume of runoff in the coming months upstream of the Oyon Dam.
He said the dredging project will assist in improving water flow from Ikorodu-Isheri section into the lagoon, reducing flood risk in the 10-kilometer stretch and create more efficient discharge path for excess water and reduce flood risk. The Olofin of Isheri on his part appreciates the gesture and promised to continue to sensitize residents on how to take precautionary measures against flooding.
The whole community, the entire Isheri community and Odogun, Ajewole, all of the whole community along this river line are ready and willing to cooperate with you, including all the estates and border communities that we have along the river line.
Other stakeholders in attendance appreciate the Ogun State and Lagos State governments as well as other partners for their efforts on the project as they work together to build a safer and more resilient future. Kazim Olowe, TVC News.
In other news, another set of 68 students from Katsina State are being sponsored by the state to study degree programs on artificial intelligence and biotechnology in China. This is another strategic move by the state to remain relevant in the global arena and also open up more windows of opportunity to its youth. Abdul Kader Yusuf reports.
The global shift in transforming scientific research as well as everyday life